Yo guys, what's going on? It's Lewis here with Crypto Elite, and it's time for another market update. It's been a minute since I made one of these. Been working super hard on my course, on the videos, on everything that I'm doing. Just a couple things before we get started. I'll go over a couple stuff going on. First off, it's my birthday coming up, so that's pretty cool. I'm gonna be 33. I do not think I'm 33. I think I'm still in my 20s. At least everyone says I look like I'm in my 20s, which is awesome. I'm very happy about that. But yeah, I am turning 33 and not really doing much, but it should be pretty good, and just really excited for 33 for the future, you know? So that's number one. Number two, I finally finished my support resistance video, which is a video that I've been working on for literally like a month straight, every single day for between 4 to 10 hours every day, like nearly every day, I want to say. And I finally finished it, and it is so good. Like, it actually blows my mind how good this video is. So, and because I totally changed it from like the typical way that I normally make videos, I did this like in a very different way. So you'll see it. You'll definitely see all these videos. Once I'm done with my course, I'm going to start making videos like this and throw it onto YouTube. So I'm pretty stoked about it, to be honest. I'm pretty stoked because it's really good and super educational and to the point. Number three, Dogecoin. Dogecoin is absolutely ripping. It's incredible, awesome. Very happy about that. If we go to even in the free chat, I was gonna say if we go to the VIP, then I have Dogecoin. But even in the free chat, Doge is one of my larger positions. You know, I'm buying into the strength. I'm getting more. Doge is the only coin that's up. 24 hours. Where did I write this? Okay, so the 23rd, I said I just bought a lot of Doge, and I have a weird feeling it'll do well soon. And I, gave the hint, in the free chat, and then of course in the VIP, I gave the Dogecoin trade setup. It wasn't a AAA trade setup, but it was looking better than most. So I threw it in there, and it's up like 16% in a day, which is like amazing. So really happy about that. Also, I possibly found an editor for my videos, for my short form content videos. So I'm super stoked about that, because if she is really good, then I will be able to push out a lot more short form content. And once I'm done with my course videos, then I'm going to focus solely on short form content and just like push out as much as possible to try to get as big of an audience as possible. Because I think I don't know, maybe I was just too selective with my audience. Like my audience, I think, is like very mature. They're like more sophisticated and probably have more money than most people. But I'm going to try to go wide now, because I have a lot more knowledge, and I created like the foundation, and I think the foundation is really good. So now that I went deep, now I think I could go wide. So once I'm done with a lot of the back end stuff, like the videos from my course and things like that, and updating my Discord group and my memberships and all this stuff, then I'm gonna try to push out as much content as humanly possible. So that'll be probably in like a couple months. So I'm really excited about that as well. And speaking about the membership subscription for the VIP, the Crypto Elite VIP Discord group, I actually just lowered the price drastically, because I realized, like, look, we've been in a bear market for so long. No one has any money. Like why am I charging so much? I just felt like I need to give people a chance to try it out. I need to make sure that people have the opportunity, and like, we haven't had a lot of opportunities in the market, so people haven't been making as much money as obviously as the bull market, or even in the beginning of the bear market, when I was absolutely crushing it, like in the bull market and in the beginning of the bear market. But recently it's been ranging for the most part. Yeah, I'm making money, but like, it's not as much. And I figured if I'm not making as much, then definitely people who aren't traders aren't making as much. So I just decided to lower the price, like from it was $197 per month, and which is totally okay during the bull markets, because there's just so much opportunity. And I actually, like, if you've been following me for a long enough time, you know that I catch wicks. Like, I catch the bottoms and the tops, which is I haven't seen other people really do that. So it's totally justifiable, and I'm very confident in that. But right now, I figured, okay, I'm just gonna lower it to like $47 per month, and I'm just gonna put that out there and see what happens. And it's going to go along with the whole like going wide as opposed to going deep. So I'm going to do that. And if you're already in the VIP, I'm going to give you like an even more like special discount. So you got that. That'll be cool. And then I think the last thing that I want to mention is that I joined a group called the Tribe Network that I'm pretty stoked about, actually. It's like a group of guys who just network and travel and work and do like really cool things. So I'll probably hopefully be going to Colombia again, and then maybe Portugal and perhaps the Philippines and other places. I really want to do that, and I could bring my laptop and I could bring my microphone and I could, you know, work from these places. And so that's a big goal of mine for this year, the end of this year and next year, is to do a lot of traveling, but work my ass off while I'm traveling, you know, trade while I'm traveling. I never want to stop this. I want to keep on doing market updates. I want to keep on providing crazy value and all of this other stuff. Oh yeah, and the other thing that I want to say is that I'm going to be buying certain programs and linking them up to my Discord group. So when alerts go off in like these programs, like for instance, the one that I, you know, go over every single day, like the CBBI and the Pi Cycle Top Indicator and the MVRVZ score and all of this type of stuff, like I'm gonna set up alerts to go off in the Discord for this, so that no one like ever misses it, and people in the Discord aren't gonna have to wait for my videos or wait for me to like actually type it in, you know. So that'll be really, really cool, and I'm excited about that. And I'm also gonna get a few other things that I'm gonna hook the people up in the Discord. But that's all coming up in the future. So you could wait if you want to, but it'll probably happen within the next month, I want to say. So with saying all of that, I think we could actually get into the market update. So let's jump into it. Let's do it. Okay, so we're starting off with the usual crypto Bitcoin bull run index. Right now it's at 29. For me, if this thing gets down back to 15 or below, then it's going to make Bitcoin look real juicy. So I'm just waiting for that. And if it never comes back down to 15 or below, then I'm not going to need to use this. But if it does, then I'll be starting to average in, or I'll be looking to get more funds to, buy more. And also, obviously, if it comes all the way up to, 90, it's not going to happen anytime soon. But if it does, then I'll be, looking to get out of crypto just in general and sell everything. And then we have the Pi Cycle Top Indicator. And of course, this is for the top, so it's not really something that we could use. But if this does come up here and it creates one of these things that we saw at the last few top cycles, then obviously I'm going to want to get out. So that's not going to happen for quite a while as well. Then we got the MVRVZ score. And once again, if this comes down into the green, then I will be looking to go in crazy heavy. But it is out of the green right now, so there's no need to really use it at all. Then we got our hodl ratio, same thing for this, comes down into the green. That's going to be a buy for me. And then we have the Bitcoin rainbow chart. So fire sale, I am jumping in, but right now, of course, it's not. It's in the accumulation, I think it's in the buy now or the accumulate now zone. So it's pretty high up. But if it does come down to basically a fire sale, then I'd want to get in. Then, of course, we have the Fear and Greed Index right now, smack dab in the middle, right at 50. This thing needs to go to 15 or below for me to really pay attention to it and, use it as an indicator. So no need to do that. So none of the fundamental indicators like these ones I just showed you are in use. Those things are really good for when the markets are having just like super turbulent times and things are going crazy and it's a black swan and exchanges are going under, or there's a pandemic that's outbreaking and, people are going nuts and the markets are tanking, or the markets are going crazy. Like I go through these because it keeps me level-headed, so that like if or when those things happen, I know like, okay, look, I have my game plan. I'm not going to get caught up in the hysteria. I'm going to just follow it. And so, yeah, that's what these things are for. And like I mentioned, I'm going to be connecting all of these things to the Discord and making sure that the Discord gets alerted for when any of these things meet my criteria. So that's going to be really, really good when that happens. So with saying all that, let's go into Bitcoin. We're going to start off on the cycle chart, I don't need the yearly, I'll do the monthly. So yeah, the cycle chart remains bullish, but bullish and bearish. It's a very precarious time. It's like no one knows what's going to happen, because it did reach this, big resistance level, but hey, it reached it back here, it fell, and it pumped back up. I am overall very, very bullish, and I will be buying the dips, and I will be buying with leverage if it comes down, and I'll explain that in a minute. But right now, this is just a big macro picture. I believe that the bottom is in, because the bottom, it basically worked like clockwork, where it was exactly 1 year from the top, we hit the bottom, and then we have the fourth Bitcoin halving coming up. And typically whenever the halving happens, like Bitcoin rallies into the halving, and then maybe does a little dip before it, a little bit after it, but it rallies into the halving, and it starts the bull market before the halving actually occurs, and then it keeps on moving up. Like you could see, like this rallied into the halving, right? And same thing back here. You can't see it because of the chart, but this rallied into the halving. It always rallies into the halving, right? So if we use this chart, which has been accurate for every single cycle now, we should get the halving around April 2024, and the fourth cycle high should come around September of 2025. So this is just my overall giant picture. I think the bottom is in, and it's still bullish. So with saying that, let's take a look at the total market cap. So we got the total market cap. We have the Fibonacci from the top to the bottom. So if you take it from this top all the way down to this bottom, we hit the 23.6 and then got rejected. Had this huge wick on the total market cap, and then we're having some wicks. So it does look like people are taking their money out of the market right now. This does not look good, having these wicks like this up in this direction. But if you look at the previous 2 months, or the previous month in June, we had a wick down, a huge wick down, which means that there was a lot of buying pressure, a lot of demand in the crypto market. So yeah, it could really go either way right now. Personally, I think it's going to come down a little bit and then move up. So that's the total market cap. I'm really waiting to sell all my crypto again for this right here, once the total market cap gets up to 1.57 trillion, because that's up at the 61.8 golden ratio of this move down, of this previous range from this high to this low, and it's also the 38.2 of the entire range. So I'm really waiting for this to get hit before I do anything, and before I sell off everything. But if we do get some stuff that's really bearish, then I'm gonna have to alter my game plan. And then for the total market cap 2, so altcoins, it doesn't look like it was as good as, it definitely wasn't as good. So this is the total crypto, right, including Bitcoin. It came above this previous high. All of the altcoins did not come above the previous high. So that's a little worrisome, but look at this. Look at what it looks like it's forming. Sort of looks like it's forming some inverse head and shoulders. So I am still fairly bullish. And let's just take a look at the altcoin dominance. Yeah, I mean, altcoin dominance hit the 38.2 and started to move up. So it's very possible that the altcoin total market cap can continue to rally, because the dominance it hit this previous resistance, turned into support / the 38.2. I do have I don't know, this is a tough one, because I do have a feeling that this is not going to come back up into this previous range. I do have a feeling that this is going to come up here and then turn over. So let me just draw that in for whenever that happens. And then I do think that it will come down to either here or here. If it comes down here, then we'll have like a major bull market. But yeah, I think that because it fell below this major area, now this technically right here is the bearish order block at the previous support, major support area turned into resistance. So when you have a bearish order block at the previous SR flip, let's see if it's at the 31.2 or 38.2. Not really. I mean, the 38.2 is all the way up here. It does have a nice, like the fib isn't perfect on it, but yeah, I'd be very cautious once this gets up here. So if we go to the daily chart, there's not that much room left for alts, but there is still enough room to see at least some movement up in alts. But yeah, once it comes up here, especially right here, I'm going to be super cautious. So let me backtrack all of this, get all this stuff out of here. All right. And I'm just going to, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a box right here. I'm going to say, okay, this is the monthly, or let's go to the weekly because the monthly is pretty, pretty big. So yeah, I'll go to the weekly and I'll say this is the weekly bearish order block, bearish OB. And if it comes up here, yeah, I'm going to be looking to short some alts. So that's all of the big stuff. Now let's get into Bitcoin. Okay, so let's start off on the Bitcoin monthly chart. So we have the monthly chart up here, and if I'm being just strictly based off of the charts, it does not look good on the monthly time frame, which is not good for crypto because the higher time frames you go, the more powerful the technical analysis is, right? So you could see we had all of the wicks on the monthly time frame. Sorry, the weekly time frame. Weekly time frame wicks up into the resistance. So that is really, really not good for the current micro, landscape, right? We're probably going to see a move down, and we already are seeing a move down. But, and this is why I don't want to be all doom and gloom and why I'm still overall bullish, is for a couple of reasons. Number one is that obviously BlackRock just, has the Bitcoin ETF that's coming out. So super bullish on that. Also, Ripple just won its case against the SEC, and XRP is not a security. So we know for a fact that Bitcoin is not a security, and Ethereum is most likely 99.99% not a security. And same thing for a lot of other cryptocurrencies. They're probably not securities, which means that there's probably going to be a whole new asset class that's coming up and being labeled. And just Gary Gensler took a huge L on that. Thank God. So yeah, that was bullish for crypto. That was super bullish for crypto. Flip side to that is that was extremely bullish for crypto, and we couldn't even breach the previous or 2 months ago's highs, which is really bad because that news probably should have propelled us higher. But the good news is that technically speaking, on the weekly time frame, we are still in an uptrend. You could see we had the bottom right here, and then we had a low, a high, a higher low, and then a higher high, and then a higher low compared to here, and then technically a higher high, although and then we had a higher high. So higher highs, higher lows, that's an uptrend. It's on the weekly time frame, which means that the high time frame chart is in an uptrend, which means that you want to get in on a bounce, or you want to look on the lower time frame as the price goes down to be in line with the higher time frame. So the higher time frame is up, so the weekly is up. So then you go to the daily or the 12-hour or the 4-hour, and you see it going down, and then you get in on those lower time frames to ride the higher time frame big trend, which is up. So with saying that, where would I look for longs? Well, a couple things. First off, we have this right here. This is the move down, right? Before the big move up that broke this market structure right here. So this right here is the bullish order block, the weekly bullish order block. So if the price comes down into here, which is 28,475, that's where I really want to start looking for longs. And let me get rid of this. So this is where I would really want to start looking for longs, is somewhere down here. And like I wrote over here, I really don't see us going too far or too deep down into this area, into this order block. I think I wrote something on the daily chart. Well, the other thing is that if we go to the daily chart, you can see that this area is the previous range back here. So this is range over here, bunch of dead space. And then we came up in here and had a little bit of range, and now we're back into this range. So this is pretty much the range, and I expect us to come down maybe 28,300 to 28,400, somewhere around here. And then I'll go into those shorter time frames, the lower time frames, and I'll look for longing opportunities. And that is, I mean, that's been the game plan since back here, it's over here. So even if I click on, I think this was the one. Yeah. So this was the one for my last update, which was like weeks ago, literally weeks ago when I made my last update. I said, if the Bitcoin comes up here, I will look for bearish candles to form and take a good short. And I also said, if it came down here, I will look for bullish candles to form and take a long. So short at the resistance and long down here. And I said that like exact word by word. So you could look at my last market update and find that exact clip. It's also on my Twitter. So yeah, I mean, Bitcoin came up here and it hit the resistance. So it was a good opportunity to short. And then it came down here. It had the swing failure SFP of the lows, which was a good long opportunity, but things were looking really bad. So ended up closing out any longs. And then, now we're down here in this is a pretty solid area. It's not a bad area. We might actually just get the bounce from here. But like I just mentioned, ideally we'd get the bounce from the weekly bullish order block. So let me just double check right here. Yeah, which is this area, where that I highlighted with this yellow circle. I think we're going to come down here and form some bullish price action right around here. And I really don't want it to go back underneath here, because it's like this back here. When it fell underneath here, like this was a big reason. This became the resistance and it crashed again. And when it came up here, it crashed again. Like this is a big area. So I would really like to see it bounce from here. And if it doesn't bounce from here, it better bounce from this trend line, because this is the major trend line that we have going, all of these bounces and then this bounce and then this bounce. So if it doesn't bounce from here and then it doesn't bounce from the trend line, I'm going to have to rethink my positions, and I might just end up selling a lot. But it's looking pretty decent, and I have to wait. So yeah, once the price comes down here, I'll look for longs. I'll look for long opportunities, and I will try to long it up to potentially breaching these highs. I want to breach these highs. So I'll sell right here if I see some bearish price action. But eventually I do want to see it move up all the way up to 36K. I want it to reach this 38.2 at 36K. I want it to reach this area. The only other thing that I will say is that, let's say we come above here and then we create, you'll see it on the weekly time frame. It's a lot easier to see. If we SFP this high right here, which correlates with basically this, big demand area. If we come up above here and then come back below here, that's when I'm going to be really bearish. That's when I'm going to be like, I might just sell everything at that if we end up doing that. This one was SFP of here, obviously, of this high, but okay, whatever. We breached and had a deviation above this high. That's bad, but it's not as bad as, this high, and because it just correlates. I don't know. To me, it's just what my mind is saying. I don't really know how to explain it totally, but yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So we got that. Let's just take a look at the, I don't know, RSI and the MACD. Anything? Can I see anything going on here? Okay, well, damn, MACD looks fucking really bad. Okay, so yeah, things don't look good from a technical perspective on the weekly time frame. They don't look good. So I expect it to move lower. I do expect it to move lower. How much lower, you say? How much lower is this? Let's see. 3%. Let's say 3 to 5% lower. 3 to 5% lower in order to I guess reset the RSI and the MACD. But yeah, not that much. So that's where I'm going to be looking for longs, down here. And if we come up above here, then I will have to, look for longs right here, pretty much right at this bearish order block, which would be a breaker if we close above it. So that is Bitcoin. So now let's move on to Ethereum. So here we're looking at Ethereum, and we're looking at Ethereum on the weekly time frame. So just big picture stuff. I really think that Ethereum should come here. And eventually it should be here. Like, I don't know why Ethereum is not here right now, because it should be. Like, if we're looking at Bitcoin, if you look at Bitcoin, you could see that this was the high, it came down, and it came to the low, to the last high. For Ethereum, this was the high, it came down, and it never got back to the old high. So that is quite annoying. It's sticking at the 38.2 of this move down of this range right here. So not the big range. The big range is the 23.6, which is, I think it's the same as here. I need to do this real quick just to double check. So where is this? This is, sorry, I could hardly see it. No, so we surpassed the 23.6 on Bitcoin. So we should surpass the 23.6 of this giant move down for Ethereum. Right now we're lagging. We're underneath of it. So yeah. First off, I really like this. I really like this setup where it bounced and then about this. Honestly, look at this. This looks like a inverse head and shoulders. Here's the left shoulder. Here's the head. And then, so with this being an possible inverse head and shoulders, we might see the price come down here before zooming back up. So 1760 around, 1760, somewhere around there. So look at the monthly candles as well. Very bullish monthly candles. Very long wick, bearish shooting star. So right here, followed by one indecision doji, followed by one very bullish hammer candle. And now we're having this candle form. There's a few more days. This is bearish, but it's not super bearish. If this was a shooting star, then I'd be like, all right, let's just forget about it. But no, this is just sort of a standard candle. Yes, it did create an SFP of this high, but it's not the worst. It's not the worst in the world. And the only thing that I see here is the stochastic RSI is, really, really overbought. But everything else looks pretty good on the monthly. How about on the weekly time frame? Well, on the weekly time frame, we got the... Oops, let me get rid of this real quick. Put this here, bring this down. Yeah, so on the weekly time frame, the MACD is moving up along with the price. The stochastic RSI is moving up along with the price. The RSI itself is doing pretty good above the 50. So yeah, the indicators look fine, and the overall macro picture, like I mentioned before, looks good. On the weekly time frame, the market structure itself, which is arguably the most important thing, we had the low here, then we had a high, then we had a low, then we had pretty much a higher high here, a higher low here, a higher high, a low, a higher low. And we don't want to see this higher low. So low, higher low, higher low, higher low, and then, higher low. We don't want to see this low breached. That would be really bad. That would be really bad, especially because this is a bullish candle. So yeah, let's go down into a lower time frame and just check to see what the deal is. So let me go down to the 12 hour. So this right here is the area and that I was looking at. So we could even extend this left. And I would honestly, I'd bring this up slightly. I'd bring this up to here. So my theory on this whole thing, what you want to call it, is that this is going to look like this. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I am hoping for. So if the price comes down here, I will look for a bullish setup, bullish market structure break, get in. Or I will look for why does this look like this? I will look for a candle with a super long wick like this, a big bullish candle, and then I'll enter right here with a stop underneath here. So these are different scenarios that I'll look for, or I'll look for something like this, and then I'll get in if the price does this. So these are the three different scenarios that I'm looking for. I'm looking for a bullish market structure break to form. I'm looking for a bullish breaker to form. Let me do this real quick. Or I'm looking for a bullish long wick candle to form. One of these three things has to happen down here within the support area of the neckline of the head and shoulders that I believe, or inverse head and shoulders, I believe is inverse head and shoulders. So let me write this all out just so, I have it and I don't forget about it. All right, so I wrote all that out and I posted that into the Discord. So the next up is ETH against Bitcoin. So ETH BTC, great play right here. Very happy about this. So I started stacking my Ethereum against Bitcoin, or putting more of my Bitcoin into Ethereum down here, I think, at the support. And I've just been stacking, I just stack it as I go lower. And eventually, if it does hit this area down here, which is this gigantic trend line all the way from freaking 2020, January 2020, so nearly 2019, December 2019, then I'm going to be converting all of my Bitcoin over to Ethereum if it reaches this area, because that would be the best buy in my opinion. So, but right now I am in a trade. I am in a long position for my BTC. Basically what happened is the price, had this huge, it was just down. Finally had this big move up, which created this bullish order block and, basically support area on the 12-hour chart. And so once the price came back down in here, looked for long trade setups. And this is the 12-hour. So if you go down into the 4-hour, you could see, let's see here. Do I see anything? Oh, this is what I did. I saw the 4-hour, where's my little box? So I saw the 4-hour bullish order block right here. And so I waited for something to pop up, and this came down and then popped up, and it had like basically the sweep of this low. So that was a good long opportunity right here. And then you put your stop underneath the bullish order block right there. And that's in it. You're in it. So that's similar to what I did. I did something, but I've been stacking for a while and converting my Bitcoin to Ethereum for a while now, mostly because of the BTC dominance, or excuse me, altcoin dominance chart hitting this 38.2. But once this hits here, like I mentioned earlier, I'm going to be selling my Ethereum. I'm actually going to be selling everything that I have once that hits there. So where's the Ethereum Bitcoin chart? Yeah, here we go. We got that. Let's check it out. So I'm waiting on this one to hit my TP. I'm probably going to lower my take profit to this trend line at this point now, because obviously this trend line's been hitting like consistently. So yeah, I'm going to set an alert. And once this hits this trend line, if it does, then I'm going to be selling my Ethereum back into Bitcoin. And yeah, it makes sense. It's at the 61.8. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, to me, this looks bullish enough, looks bullish to me on the weekly and on the 12-hour chart. No reason for me to exit my long. If you're long from anywhere down here, like, just stick with it. I don't see why not. So that is Ethereum. Okay, so next up we have equities, the S&P 500, which has been going on an absolute tear. I put this up here. If this closed above this line, then, get super bullish. And that was like back in May, so a few months ago, and it's up nice 6%, which in terms of crypto is absolutely horrible, but in terms of the stock market and the S&P 500, it's really good. So yeah, there's no reason to short. There's no reason to short, really. Like, this is just an absolute powerhouse. Once we get a bearish market structure break on the weekly time frame, then I'll short. What I think is going to happen is I think it's going to come up into this major resistance area. So this is the major resistance area on the weekly time frame. So I'll just label this red. I'm almost thinking that we're gonna, like SFP, that we're gonna create this situation and then it's gonna, tank hard. I guess now is the time to be bearish. Like, first, this was the time to be bearish because it, hit a major area of interest, right? Major area. So you could have shorted here, stop up here. Eventually you would have got stopped out, but okay, now you're long and you target here. Then once this is reached and this is super bullish, well, keep on going and you just raise your stop. Just keep on raising your stop until some type of bearish price action forms. And so far, no bearish price action has formed, but we have to see some bearish price action before we could get into a trade. And that's really critical. Like it's just even on the daily time frame, look, it's a low, it's a high, higher low, 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 higher low. It's just higher lows across the board, consistently getting higher lows and higher highs. So yeah, we're in an uptrend until we get a lower high and a lower low. Then we will be in an uptrend. But I have to see this. Where's my little drawing tool? I have to see the price come up. Let's say it makes a higher high. I have to see it make let's say it makes an equal high and then it makes a lower low. So maybe it makes a high, a higher low, and then an equal high, or maybe a lower high, and then it breaks this previous low. That's my trigger to go short. So I'll say, okay, if it comes back up, then I'm gonna look for shorts. This is a little bit high, but if it comes back up, I'm gonna look for shorts and move down. But we haven't seen that. Notice how it's just been like up, down, up, down, up, down. It's literally been like this, right? And I'm looking, like I just mentioned, I'm looking for this right here to happen. I'm looking for this break. So once this breaks, then I'll be bearish. But if it doesn't, until it happens, it's not bearish, so you can't short it. So that is the S&P 500. Now, next up, we have to talk about XRP. Come on now. We got to talk about XRP. Let's take a look at XRP. Let's start off on the monthly time frame and keep on going. Shout out to someone in my group. I forget who did it, but someone in my group pointed this out down here when it was 33 cents for this trend line. So shout out, if you're watching this, to the person who called it all the way down here, because that was pretty freaking epic. I'm not gonna lie. Very happy about that. But if you're longing now, obviously you shouldn't be longing XRP at this point because it's already pumped, right? So you don't want to be chasing pumps. You don't want to be FOMOing in. And obviously this is a few days after the pump. So if you FOMOed in, you probably FOMOed in the day of, which would have been catastrophic if you got in, anywhere up here, of course. But what happened? Like, it hit this area right here. So this was the swing high. This was the swing high, this was the swing low, and it popped up to the resistance and then crashed back down. So we got that. Let's take a look. Is there any other major area? I mean, this area right here is the major area that I see is right here. So let's go to the weekly time frame, get a little bit more clarity. So yeah, see how this was resistance, popped down, came up, resistance again, popped down, and then finally, popped up, came back down, support, broke through it, and then acted as resistance right here. It never touched it back then, but it did end up acting as resistance. So now this is the area that I want to look for longs in, this huge area at between 59, 0.592 and 0.62. Though that's the area that I want to be looking for longs, to basically try to capture what could be an SR flip. If we go down to the daily time frame and we take the fib from the bottom to the top, what area is this? Look for the 61.8. So the 61.8 is a little bit above this area. So I would target the 78.6, which typically it comes down to the 78.6 after such a huge run up. So I'm expecting it to come down to the 78.6, bounce off of here to at least give us a 22% gain up to the 50% at the 70 level. So I'm going to draw this in real quick. I'm going to say comes down here. This is what I'm guessing is going to happen. I guess that it's going to come down here, do something like this, and then create a candle like this down into the 78.6 before, moving up. And then once it reaches this area, I don't know what's going to happen, but it's probably going to keep on going up and make a triple top, but you never know. I'm going to be out if it does do this. So this is what I'm thinking. So let me write this down really quick. Okay, so yeah, this is going to be what I'm thinking is going to happen. And so I'll look to long somewhere down here, especially if we get this nice big wick candle or some type of bullish market structure, just like how I described before. If we get something that comes down and puts in something like this, or something that puts in something like this, then I'll definitely want to be longing. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be looking for on XRP. Next up, we have Dogecoin, which I've already, patted myself on the back for this one. I did mention it did say it. VIP alt signals right here. Doge. No, I'm going to Doge. It's looking primed. It's doing good. I'm buying. I said it. I said it in all of these channels, even the free one. You know, Doge doing good. Doge bought a lot of it, and it's the best performer, hands down. Best performer, 10% in the last 24 hours. Everything else either 1% or negative. That is what's going on right now. So super stoked about this. Threw a lot of money in here, so I just made a lot back that I haven't been making, but I just made it all back in one trade. So that's pretty cool. That's how trading works. And by the way, that's how trading works. It's not every single day you make 2%, or every week you make 2% or something like that. It's like basically you lose small amounts, you lose, and then you make it all back in one trade. That's not okay. That's hyperbole, but you lose small amounts because you manage your risk, and then eventually the market turns around and you make a lot of money. Or you might be a scalper and you just make little tiny bits of money, you know, every day. And you can do that too, but I prefer the higher time frames, and I prefer the swing trades, and I don't want to be in front of the chart 24/7 just to make 1 or 2%. I'd rather, you know, make 10%, 20%, 30% plus on my trades. So that's why I swing big for these home run type of plays and at the big major areas of interest, and that frees up so much time. I don't have to be in front of the screen all day. And also, I figured that's what you want. I figured that's what most people want. They don't want to be in front of the screen all day. So I'm not going to have alerts, you know, just going off 24/7, boom, 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 buy here, you know, in the zone, in this zone, like every single, I mean, I do have alerts go off a lot, but not every single day, because I only want like the major times that really important, really big things happening that are high probability, that look good. That's what I want to provide for people, instead of just day trading in and out, because you have a job, you're busy. You know, most people are a bit too busy to do this. So I want to, that's why I trade the way that I do. And also I'm building bots to be able to trade, so it could just be automatic. So you don't even have to go in front of your screen, you know, basically almost at all. Just be, you know, maybe 10 minutes a day or an hour a week, just making sure the bot runs. I'm building those out. So that's going to be really exciting. I'm really excited about that. All right, so now we could get onto the actual chart. Let's take a look at what happened. Let's take a look at Dogecoin. So we got Dogecoin. Here it is on the weekly charts. It's been going down, lower lows, lower highs, you know. Then we had this big spike up. That was really good. And then, you know, lo and behold, it came back down into the support. Like, this was the support. So and when you look at things like this, it really makes trading look really easy, doesn't it? It makes it look like, oh, well, it's super easy. You just simply buy at the supports down here, hit the support, hit the wick, you know, and then you sell at the resistance. So if I'm going to sell at the resistance, where's the resistance? Well, the biggest resistance is right here. Like, this is the most previous resistance. So if it does manage to get up to, you know, 89 cents, then I'll sell, because that's the resistance. And what I'll do is I'll go into the daily time. I'll go into the 12-hour time frame, and I'll check for bearish price action in this area. And once I see that, then I'll sell. So let me write that out. And I just need to do a quick update on Dogecoin. I'm actually going to sell my Dogecoin right here, right now, because we're hitting this minor area of interest, this minor resistance area. You could see just obviously back here, support, resistance, support, resistance. And now it's looking like it's resistance as well. I think it's going to come down maybe 4 or 5%, maybe a little bit more, and then continue up and hit this, 9-cent region. But I have to take my profits now because I'm up by a lot, and I want to make sure that I lock it in. And we're getting bearish price action. So you could see the RSI is very bad, and the MACD is not actually too bad, but it is on its way down. But if we go to the 30-minute chart, you could see that we created a high and then a little bit of a bottom, and then we drop down below it. So this is technically this could be a bearish market structure break right here, and we came back into it, and then we started selling off. But on the 1 hour chart, you can see there's a lot of wicks up in here, so we're getting a lot of bearish wicks. This is a shooting star, like 2 shooting stars with a swing failure pattern at the resistance, at the minor area of resistance. So I'm going to sell here. If it does end up popping up again, though, back above this area, then I'll just look to long, and I'll miss out on this. Let's see, I'll miss out on maybe 3%. But I'm going to take a shot, and I think that because I think that it's going to come back down here to maybe 4 or 5% lower. Let me go to the 4 hour chart. Yeah, probably down here. I think it's going to come down here and then continue to move up again. So yeah, I have to take my profits because I made too much. I even took a screenshot of it. So when you take a screenshot of your profits, that's how you know that you should probably, take some off the table. So yeah, I'm not liking the price action, and I'm not liking the way that it is right now. Also biggest volume bar on the 4 hour chart into resistance. That's usually an indication that a lot of people are taking profits, and so I'm going to wait it out, and if it happens to break the market structure up here and close somewhere up here, then I'll be bullish again. But right now I'm bearish, so I'm going to sell, and then I'll buy back a little bit lower. So yeah, that's Doge. There's a lot more that I want to do, so I guess I'll just keep on going through them because, why not? We have H bar. Let's look at H bar. So H bar came down. H bar looks like this to me. You know what? It's almost like I almost don't even want to trade because, well, actually, never mind. I was going to say this is like accumulation, but this isn't. It had this giant pump. This is accumulation. This is accumulation right here. So that's, oh shit. Hold on a second. When did Link do this? Okay. Wow. Whoa. Okay. Let's go. Hold on a second. I need to check my Link. Okay, I absolutely crushed Link, and I am definitely showing this off because this is good. Look at this. Got in at the wick down here, rode it up, kept it on the way down, did not panic sell, rode it this all the way up, sold here, sold the top, bought back in on the wick at the bottom of the wick on the move down, then rode this all the way up and sold some here and then sold some more right here. So that's freaking crazy. So now what I could do is I could buy back what I sold right here. I could buy it back down here and potentially continue to compound my gains. But yeah, this has to be one of my best trades so far, because that's actually pretty crazy that I was able to do this. So shout out to me patting myself on the back like this. I'm not saying I do this all the time, but I need to put this out there to just let you guys know, like, I do trade, and sometimes I do catch like really good, entries and exits. Like, I'm not just winging it, I'm not just like buying here or and here and like these random places. No, like, I calculate my shit and I buy the bottoms. I buy these wicks and I sell these wicks on the top. So to me, that's really good. So I'm sharing it to let you know I'm not some fraudster person like all these gurus out here that claim to be traders and they don't know what the hell they're doing. So just want to say that. But let's get back to the charts. So looking at the charts, I'm going to look at Link now because this obviously is big. So we got Link. Obviously it hit my target and now it's coming back down. And what I want to do is, first off, I want to look at it against BTC, and I think that looking at this against Bitcoin, what I would want to do is I want to look right at this bullish breaker and on the weekly chart. So let me just put this as the weekly, and now that I have this labeled out, once this comes down here, I want to look for longing opportunities and continue to long this, continue to ride the wave up, because I think that this is going to hold, because not only is this the bullish breaker right here, but this is, where is it? This is at the high time frame support as well. So I'll say I'll just say weekly, weekly support. So we have a weekly big area, major support area. We have a, what do you call it? A retrace back, basically a deviation, grab a liquidity, deviation back into the support. So if this comes back down on the weekly time frame against Bitcoin, that's a long. That is, oh my God, that's such a long from right here for sure. So I need to definitely put in a lot of alerts because this is something that I would not want to miss. Let me also double check this. All right, so this is a 38.2. It'll probably come down to I don't know. I'd probably want to stack my orders. I'll just stack my orders down, and then depending on what happens, I'll just have to manage my trade. But yeah, I'm looking at this against Bitcoin because I want to make sure that it looks good, and to me it does. It looks like this was a deviation, and now it's going to come down here, and before it zooms up. So I'm going to put in a bunch of alerts, and I'm gonna do something like, something like this. Okay, so I put that in here. Now let's look at Link against USDT. Okay, cool. So yeah, we got the USDT chart. Crushed it, absolutely crushed it. So I can get rid of all of this stuff now. Hit the resistance, came back down. Let's look at the weekly. So yeah, this is the weekly bullish order block right here. So do I have this? Yeah, I do. Weekly bullish OB. Go down to the lower time frame. So what I want to see is the price come down into here, which I think it will if we take the fib. Perfect fib entry right there. So not only is this the weekly OB, but yeah, okay, yeah, I think this is the most significant area. This area also is, this just above it is a little bit, oh my gosh, yeah, this is a good trade. This is actually this is looking like a very good trade setup because this is the minor level, minor area of interest right here. And then this is the major area of interest down here is the weekly bullish order block. So if it comes down, yeah, I want to start stacking. I want to start stacking orders USD down here, stacking Link here. So yeah, that's the game plan. I'm going to start stacking Link, and I'm just going to stack it down here, and then hopefully I'll probably take my profit at the 38.2. So I'll do something like this. Say it comes down. Say it comes down here. I want to take my profit here, and I don't really have a stop for this, but I'll just say my stop goes there. So yeah, this is going to be my Link trade. Now, just as a reminder, if you have not liked this video, please like this video. It really helps me out. Also, just leave a comment to say good job or say awesome or like I won. Like, I don't know, just say something. The comments and likes are really good for this channel. Obviously, I'm always trying to grow it. Everyone's trying to grow their channel, but like I'm trying to grow it, and I'm really excited for the future. Really excited to get these videos done, and now with my new editor, it'll be awesome. So yeah, just like that video, like this video, smash that like button. You know the deal. And that's actually going to do it for this video. I hope this has been a good video. I think this has been a good video. And yeah, I'll update you guys as things come along. Like I mentioned, sort of just waiting for stuff to happen on Bitcoin, and Doge has been the only thing that I've been liking. Link, obviously, like I mentioned before, really like Link if it hits the areas. And XRP, you got my game plan for XRP. I think it's going to come down to 58 cents and then, shoot up from there. Give me a nice 22%. So yeah, these are all the coins I'm looking at. So with that, I'm going to say you're awesome. Stay awesome. Keep on being profitable. Keep on making those gains. And I'll see you in the next video.